A very good morning and welcome. It's Jeff Laughton online on Thursday the 28th of August at about 10 a.m. Well, we had a decent day yesterday. In fact, I think just about everything I mentioned came off, and I've got a bit to tell you as well today. Before that, if you're new to the channel, you are of course very welcome, but I want to stress this is not a tipping channel. It's more about education, the races we should be looking at, and the way we go about our betting. Now, my name is Jeff Laughton and I've been a professional gambler for well over 30 years. I make an unbelievable amount of money annually by only betting on one sport, and that is horse racing, and predominantly in the summer months. I don't deviate by betting on anything else like football or casinos. I don't bet on anything other than horse racing. Be a master of one trade, not a jack of all trades. If you do need to bet on anything that is happening all over for whatever reason in all these other sports and pastimes, these are a distraction to you, and the chances are you're a gambling addict and you will not make money. In fact, I'll go further. I will guarantee you will lose money consistently. Now, I'm not here to lecture you. It's your money. You can do as you wish. I've been a losing punter. Fortunately, that's a long time ago, but I learned lessons. And that's what you must do. You must learn lessons from your mistakes. I'm trying to get you to bypass those mistakes by telling you how I bet. Of course, I don't win every day, but I do win literally every week, and I certainly win every month. And you can do the same. Now, as you're aware, the internet is full of so-called tipsters who film themselves collecting money from the bookmakers when they have a winner. Just beware. These are normally wet behind the ears wannabes who are here today and almost certainly gone tomorrow. I'm not telling you to follow me. You can make up your own mind. But it's not about how much they charge. It's the amount of money you will lose following somebody who's not very good. The best advice I can give you is to do your own work. Most of the information you need is already out there. Yes, of course, we all want information, but the bulk of people I know that make consistent profits betting all do their own work. If these stable lads that people listen to were any good, they wouldn't be riding push bikes up Newmarket High Street and having holes in the shoes. Just think about that. You can't beat doing your own studying and coming up with the right answer. But you do need time, which is why I start at 5 o'clock every day. Now, I know people can't do that, but you can study the night before, and instead of trying to go through 3 or 4 cards, which might have 30 races between them, you need to isolate 2 or 3 races to look at. And as I always say, these are not the races where the bookmakers want us to play, i.e. the 20-runner handicaps. These are the races where there are only 2 or 3 viable winners. Now, I know that sounds easy, but how would you identify those races? From my point of view, I use figures that I collate myself. But you could use Racing Post ratings, which are free, or Timeform or something similar. And I do this the day before. What I'm looking for is an opening where 1 or 2 horses are much higher rated on figures than the others. Now, this gives me an indication that I need to look at that race in depth. So on the morning, I may start with 10 or 12 races to look at, and I would usually only have 2 or 3 bets maximum. And that's also the other thing. Don't spread yourself too thin. For example, if you have £100 to play with and you think that one horse that you like is a certainty, but there are 2 or 3 or 4 others that you think have got really good chances, have the £100 on the certainty. Okay, so you only get 1 race to watch and cheer 1 horse home. But when you put £20 on 5 horses and your certainty wins and the other 4 get beaten, that's when you know what you should have done. This is not about entertainment. As far as I'm concerned, it's only about winning or losing money. And I know which side of the fence I want to be on. Okay, that's enough of the sermon today. If you're interested in my private service, 5 winners from the last 6 bets, and that's going particularly well, drop me an email at the email address below. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, it's always best to do that because you get notified by YouTube when these videos go up. So let's start this afternoon at Chelmsford. In the 220, Demetrius of Sir Mark Prescott's aims to follow up his win at Catterick 10 days ago. He carries a £6 penalty for that, and whilst I think he's the most likely winner, I'm not convinced that he's an 11 to 10 shot, as he probably wants 7 furlongs. However, it does look a weak race and there's no strength behind the second favourite. I haven't had a bet in the race, nor am I likely to, but if you did want to mess around, Espona Bay of Michael Bell's should be in the 3. In the 4:20, Estamra of the Crisfords makes his comeback after 209 days off. Now, he ran twice last winter over in Maidan, and on the second run, that would make him a standout here. He finished second to a horse of Jamie Osborne's, who was then second in a Group 2 race, and his last 2 runs have been in Group 1 races. And the third horse, he's subsequently won 2 Group 3 races. So that tells you the strength of that form. Now, he's had niggling problems which has kept him off the track, but he has been working well recently to at least a mark of 85. The second favourite here, Lordsbridge Grey, that recently finished 4th behind another Crisford horse called Hachiman, and that wouldn't get close to Estimar at home. Foss, they've had quite a lot of rain with the promise of more to come, so in the 3:10, which is only a classified race, that will really suit course specialist Diamonds in the Sand. Now, she'll be reunited with £5 claimer Taryn Langley, who won on her over this course and distance in July. It looks a weak race and she should be winning this. At Newbury in this evening or late afternoon, whatever you want to call it, the 4:48 race, Charlie Appleby runs Leon Alato, a colt by St Mark's Basilica. Now, he created a nice impression when he made his debut 3 weeks ago, finishing 3rd behind his stable companion Al Zanati. The second horse has since come out and won, and my information that he's working to a mark of about 90 at home. If that's the case, he should be good enough to win this, although there are a couple of likely improvers in the race. In the 7:30, I put up Sir William to my private clients last time when he won at Windsor, but I really don't think the horse is one to have 100% faith in. And at the prices, I would prefer to have a little bit on Master in the Woods. So I'm going to leave it there for today. I'll be back at the same time tomorrow. Many thanks for dropping by, and don't forget, if you want to be a bit more select with your bets, then please drop me a line regarding the private service. And if you haven't already done so, you must hit the subscribe button so you know when these videos go up. Many thanks.